All right, I'm here with EG.IdrA, Greg Fields. Day 2 of MLG, did pretty good yesterday. WCS, how you feeling about that?
It's okay. I mean, it's still a North American only tournament. I haven't been doing that well, but I still don't consider North America. It shouldn't be a challenge, but I lost to State in kind of disappointing games. Like I won a macro game, then he all-in me twice. That was dumb. But I made it back through the loser bracket. And beating Juan is pretty cool. He's legitimately good. Like people underrate him.
He's the only guy that beat a Korean in our tournament, so.
Yeah. He is quite good and underrated, and beat him, so that was nice. We also practiced together and we're kind of friends, and he trolls a lot, so it's fun to beat him. I ended up in 3rd place, but I lost the vibe in really dumb games. Like the first one, it was kind of like the same with State. I won a macro game, then he 10 pulls twice, and I get 10 pull versus 10 pull. I'm not sure how he ended up ahead there. He just did. And then the last game, I figured he won 10 pull again. I 15 hatch, he 10 pulls, so really disappointing way to go out.
But you did make groups in the open bracket as well. Yeah. Tell us about those games.
Unfortunately, I had to play Suppy again. Like Suppy has had a really rough couple of days. In WCS, he got knocked out by Chris and Huck and then me, and then he had to play me again in round 5 of the winner bracket of MLG. So tough for him. We had okay games. He also got in at like 8 a.m. yesterday morning, so he's been super fucked up the entire tournament. So he's not playing his best. And then I got Ice Cream. I was pretty happy with the way I played. It played pretty well. He's a former OGS member, but he's on
Illusion, right?
OGS.
Yeah, he was OGS Illusion, I think.
Yeah, he played on Ghost Illusion, but I think he's more known as Ice Cream. So I played him. I played pretty well, 2-0'd him easily. I got to use a Mass Muta style on Daybreak. It's always kind of fun when I can go back to that, because that's like the I don't know if I pioneered it, but I was one of the ones who popularized that really early on. So to get to go back to that's cool. Then I go into groups and I beat First, which I didn't really expect. He's really, really good. He played Tasia in the finals of one of the brackets of the arena, and he's been doing really well in a lot of stuff. He's kind of underrated, very good. And ZVP has generally been considered my Achilles heel. So I beat him. The first game I was really happy with. The second game on Antigua, I don't really like Antigua, so I made Hydras. You can't do that. And then the third game, he kind of messed up. He let some Zerglings in. He missed a force field, or he delayed a force field. I got a big advantage and just rode it out from there. And then I lost to Sasquatch. God knows how. ZVZ is just really easy to lose in, and dumb shit happened.
Okay. Well,
and I played Lysira. Those games didn't get broadcast, but they were actually, the first two were actually really good. The first one, he goes mutas, and I hold it off, and he tries to follow it up with a roach timing, and I kind of hold it off, but it equalizes. And then we have back and forth macro game like constant action. He ends up winning. And then the second game, he 10 pulls and I 15 hash, but it balances out. Like I take just enough damage to be fair. And then it goes into a macro game, and I end up winning with him like running all over with Burrowed Roaches. Then the last game, I figure since I 15 hatched and held his 10 pool, he wouldn't do it again. So I went 15 hatch, 17 gas, 16 pool to do a little Ling Baneling pressure.
Again,
then he 10 pool drone all in, so I lost.
Yeah, that's how Sheth lost too in one of the other games. But the Koreans, they don't hesitate. Yeah. They love you at MLG, man. They put you on stage like back to back to back.
Yeah, a couple of times I had a bigger crowd at the WCS stage than the MLG stage, so that was kind of nice. Yeah, that's one thing I can always say. No matter how poorly I'm doing, I have a really big, awesome fan base.
Anything change how you practice, a mindset, anything like that? From you're still in Phoenix, you're still practicing at the EG lair. I mean, these results are pretty good considering the last couple of months. But anything change in your practice?
Not really. It's just kind of a matter of time. I'm not a particularly fast learner. Like I did well at the start of the game, like in the beta and whatnot, but that was just on strength of mechanics. Like I didn't figure out that much. It takes me a while to learn stuff, and I dropped off a lot at the end of last year because I was traveling too much. Then I went to Korea, and that kind of revamps your playstyle, but then I didn't stay long enough to really follow through with that, so that messed me up. And I started losing a bunch, which messed me up mentally. So it was all just like a bunch of stuff combining to make me play terribly. And now I finally had time to like settle down and practice a bunch. I haven't been going to as many tournaments. EG's allowed me to do that, so big thanks to them. And I finally had time to just settle down and start figuring things out. I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, where I should be, but getting better.
You have plans to go back to Korea, or do you want to go back to maybe participate in Code A again?
I have no great interest in GSL. I think it interferes too much with foreign tournaments, and the scheduling is just, it's not worth it. Like, obviously it's a prestige thing, but, you know, this is also a job. I also have to represent EG and whatnot. So I can't just sacrifice everything to live in Korea and play one tournament a month.
What about OSL?
OSL, that, yeah.
You'd go back for that. Come on, just once?
Cool, yeah. Yeah, coming from StarCraft 1, getting the opportunity to play in an OSL would be absolutely amazing. Korea, I've always kind of intended to go back. It's just a matter of finding the time and making sure I have enough time to actually stay there long enough for it to be worthwhile. because I don't want to go for just like a month, and that feels like a waste to me. We'll see. I'm not really sure what plans are with regards to Korea.
Did you stay up to date on the Kespa, non-Kespa stuff?
I saw that the GSL players basically blackmailed them and said they wouldn't play in OSL, and so they would be left with like half an OSL if the Kespa players weren't allowed to play in GSL, which is really, really cool. Coming from StarCraft 1,
Yeah.
like we've had plenty of experience with Kespa just being bullies because they had an absolute monopoly. They could do anything they wanted then, and they did really stupid shit.
You actually have first-hand experience under Kespa rule. You're like the guy that has lived in North Korea, like not North Korea, but you know what I mean, like behind enemy lines. What was it like?
On a day-to-day basis, like, it's not like Kespa was running around telling everyone, right, taking advantage of us or something.
Right.
Although under the Kespa teams, like the players were pretty much slaves. Most of them didn't make much of a salary. They practiced ridiculous hours. They had no freedom and whatnot. And under the GSL teams, the players have a little bit more freedom. They're more relaxed, and they use that freedom. They don't sit there practicing 12 hours a day. So the Kespa organizations did keep the players in kind of inhumane conditions, but otherwise, day to day, it didn't really affect me that much. But then you would see like just all this stuff on TV, like a guy getting a forfeit loss for typing PPP when his monitor was off, and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was Leda.
Yeah, Kespa just, it's really, really nice that people now have power over them, and that the players actually stood up and told them not to do the dumb shit again.
Yeah, and then when Esports Federation came out, everyone was like, why do we need this? And then now you know why we need it, because stuff like this happens.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's still a little bit of time left in this tournament. Once you make it into groups, no one is eliminated. Now that you've done kind of well in the earlier part of the tournament, what's your goal for tomorrow?
Goal's always to win. There's no players in particular who I really want to meet. I'd like to avoid ZVZ. Like, I don't feel bad in the matchup, but it just feels like it's so easy to lose in general, and all my losses so far have come from ZVZ. So, I don't know, I'd like to play a really good Korean Terran, I guess. But other than that, just win as much as possible.
Yeah, like Marine King, he lost in the earlier rounds, and I think Tage is still in it.
It'd be really cool to play Tasia again, because I felt that Aces Series 1-3 wasn't really demonstrative of how well I played. I felt like I really could have won.
It was pretty close. I watched those games.
I felt like I could have won all 4 games, and I really should have won the first 3. So I'd like another crack at him.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, you guys might be well, Demuslim not in the house anymore recently, right? But you guys might be getting someone else, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
This is around the time of year where contracts tend to be up and new players tend to be signed, so we could be getting anyone.
Okay. Yeah. I like every one of your guys has a different response to that. I like that. Hux is that you guys are getting Vortex. He's coming over from Spain.
Vortex and Lucifron. We didn't want to split up a pair.
Okay, yeah. All right, both brothers. Okay, well, good luck in the rest of your group games. Good luck in the loser bracket. They'll put you on stage, so I'll be in the crowd.
Thank you.